what your little story is.
All right, so I went to Cleveland State. I graduated in 2023.
So BSN, right?
BSN.
That's a big
it was
fucking deal.
Yeah, like ABSN because I did the accelerated program.
Oh, but it's BSN.
Yeah,
You're gonna
yeah,
go
yeah.
far.
I had a degree before. I did biology because I was gonna go for optometry school.
You did say that.
And then I decided it was gonna be too expensive, so
That's true.
nursing was the other route that I chose. So
You get
yeah.
quick money. Now, when did you graduate?
2023.
Oh,
May.
2023. Yeah.
So it's been like a year and a couple months now.
Yeah,
So,
no change. And how did that go? Did you take it right away?
So I graduated, I went on vacation for 3 weeks.
I tell you, that's the number one reason people fail. I wanted you to hear that because the number one reason is you didn't leave school, study, and go take a test. And I probably heard the vacation part. 75% of the people that enter my program tell me they took a vacation immediately after school.
Yeah, I thought I was going to study during my vacation. It did not work out.
Where'd you go?
I went to Palestine for 3
Oh,
weeks.
you did go on a vacation. I'm mad at you.
Yeah, so I went on vacation and then I was like, you know what? A lot of my classmates passed it. They took it like pretty quick afterwards. So I'm like, I think I'll be okay. Failed at 85 questions. So basically I killed everyone.
And you were smart too. And that was weird.
Yeah, so.
That was not what I would expect.
Yeah, so I failed at 85 questions. And
Killed
then,
everybody, like my brother said.
Yeah, was not a safe nurse at all. So then I waited the 45 days. I studied a lot. I got Archer. I got Archer before. Yeah, I got Archer before. I didn't really study, so I kind of wasted money because I went on vacation.
What do I say about Archer? Does anybody know?
Don't get Archer. Get Uworld.
It's too easy. Yeah. It's not a challenge at all. And I do these consultations on all these people who fail. 99% have Archer.
Yeah, so then I did, the second time around, I took it in 45 days. I did do better though. I got all the way to 150 questions.
Okay, you did do better.
But I got Archer and I also did varsity tutors with some like tutoring inside. It was like Zoom classes and then you paid a little bit extra for like actual one-on-one with someone.
How much was that out of curiosity? Varsity tutor it's called?
Yeah.
Anybody heard of that? I didn't heard of it. Did you too?
I probably spent, it was a good money, it was a good amount. Like 1,000, I want to say.
Clearly, you're not going to do this in the hallway.
Yeah, it was probably $1,000 or something like that. Probably a little bit less than that. I don't exactly remember how much.
Tutor you?
Well, it was only 6 or 8 classes with one tutor. Like if I didn't like a tutor, I was able to switch with another tutor, but I kept with the same one. He was really good.
So a guy tutors you online for 8 classes for $1,000 fucking dollars. I'm doing
no, and then you also have like you could.
I'm getting out of this.
Yeah, and then you could also like schedule a lot of like Zoom classes with a whole bunch of people, and it was like one teacher that would teach like other topics.
All right, got it.
So I kind of utilized as many scheduled classes as I could. And then also the tutoring was on top of that price. Okay. So it wasn't like I was busy. Yeah. Like I was like
no, that's why
in
you did
class
better.
every day. Yeah.
Because you had some good stuff going on.
And then I had Archer throughout, and then someone told me to get Uworld, so I got Uworld like towards probably like 2 weeks before, just so I could see how I'm doing. And then I did down for 150 questions, so it's like.
When you think of Archer, what were your scores? Was it 40, 50,
it was
60,
like
70?
when I kept on doing like the assessments, so I think I was getting like highs, some borderlines, but majority highs and like
60, 70.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then after I took the 150, like the second exam, I basically didn't study for 3 months, and then my coworker, Marissa.
Were you worried that you just didn't?
It was just like, let me have a break. I paid for the ATT, so I knew I was gonna take it again. Okay. But like I paid immediately after. Yeah. So I was like, I just need a break, so I just focused on working. Yeah. And then and then Marissa was like, here's the number, and then she was your student in your class, so I came here in January. Yeah. And then.
So you only failed 2 times, right?
So third time was the charm.
I am not doing this again.
So I just kept on moving it back. When I looked through my emails, I noticed I moved it back like 9 times. Because I was like, okay, I'm gonna take it now. And then once it kept on creeping up, I'm like, too much anxiety, let's move it back.
Yeah.
And then again, and then again. Literally 9, 10 times. I counted, and I remember like I think 2 times before it was like 8 times. So
you
9,
good,
10.
Though.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I love how you were confident this time.
Yeah.
Because he even said he came
So
in.
I did that.
And this is crazy because he came in that last day before he took his test, and I was really proud of you. And he scared the crap out of me because he took an NCLEX 4000 test because he hadn't really been doing the NCLEX 4000. And he bombed it. He had been getting 80s and 70s, whatever. So he bombed it with like a 50%.
Yeah, I got
58, I think. I don't know.
57%.
57, yeah.
Traumatized me.
Traumatized
like,
me.
I had to take it because my ATT was going to expire pretty soon too. So
I'm like, what we gonna do with this, bro? Why do you think that happened? Because he goes, well, I know for sure I've been doing better. And I said, I can vouch for that because at one point he was going to take it. And he came to one of our toe-to-toes. And this is the gentleman I was telling you earlier this morning with the girl, because Katora was here and you guys both had the same issue. I said, you got to study your meds. You got to do better. Meds. And I would say 180-degree turn this one did on his meds. And so it was like, I was like, I don't know, 57, that doesn't fucking make me feel good. And it was a different software. It's the software that we use just to see if you really know your stuff. I figure I caught him off guard and caused anxiety, I think, is what I really believe. Because you were like, you want me to
anxiety
take it
was
on
always
this?
there. So.
You were like, should I take it in the hallway?
Yeah.
Should I go to my car? What should I do?
Yeah.
And now, one of the things, too, is you said something that I want my students online to hear. How do you get that special accommodation? That was good.
Oh, so I had an IEP when I was in high school and middle school and
tell them what that
college,
is in case they don't know.
I don't really know what it is either.
It's an individualized education plan. How many of you got kids with the IEP? Anybody in here got a kid with that? You do?
So
and what's their thing? Dyslexia?
She has cerebral palsy.
Oh, cerebral palsy, yes. It could be for anything.
Fine motor skills, a little delayed.
Oh, okay. And yours was what? ADD?
ADHD,
yeah.
That's I wasn't really diagnosed, but I was able to like get it with the IEP.
Without that, the IEP you could do that, yeah. Now what is you say you gotta finagle it? I ain't mad at my practitioner. That's right.
Yeah, so
what did they do for you?
So that helped me on my I think the second exam when I got all the way to the 150, that helped because I got separate room extended time, so that
did you do that the first time?
Not the first time I bombed it. I was in a regular room with everyone in.
That was bad.
Yeah,
that's why you got the 85, because you should not come out of school with 85.
Yeah, so then, even in school, like when I was doing nursing, I had the accommodations and everything. So whenever I took an exam, I went into a separate room, extra like time and all that.
Okay.
So
how do you get it? Do you? Because what I hear, you got to do it ahead of time or something.
So when you sign up when you're registering for your ATT, I believe. It says like you have to check off a couple of things, and on one of the boxes it says like, do you have an accommodation? Then the doctor has to send that in. They give you like an email for the doctor to send it in, and then you just have to wait a little bit. But the thing that kind of sucks with that, if you want to move back your exam, you have to call. You can't just do it online.
He couldn't schedule online. He had to keep calling. I mean, we called one time here.
Yeah, and it was like you have to, because there's only one room that's like private room. Mm-hmm. So if you call, you probably are waiting like 2 months to take it the next time.
And you might have been ready right then.
Yeah, so that's why technically I couldn't move it back again. When she told me I failed, I kind of did try to move it back again. But they said it would be out of because my expiration for the ATT was like the beginning of November. And I think the next time that they had was like November 15th, so it was gonna expire
before that.
Yeah, so then I took it. Yeah.
That was God.
Yeah.
And what time in the morning or afternoon?
It was 8 o'clock.
8 in the morning, and then when you sat there, as you took your test, and you're in a separate room, quiet, no noise.
You don't even see anyone. You just see anyone there's just a window where you see like the people, like the worker behind you, so you just raise up your like dry erase board if you need anything or anything like that. So
okay. Now tell them then how long it took and how many
so I turned off the timer and the numbers.
Number one advice I can give you: turn off the counter, turn off the clock.
But when I went on my break, I was on 56 in 2 hours.
Excellent.
So I know you say
That was
30,
excellent.
yeah, so
Yeah.
30 questions for every hour.
And we can do a smaller amount, but you don't want to do like, what you don't want to do is what many of you sitting here right now have done. You took that test, it was scheduled at 8 o'clock and you were done by 9:30 and you got all the questions and you failed, and 150 questions ideally should have taken you 3 or 4 hours.
So I did not have to use all 150 questions, thank God.
No.
So I got to 85. I checked and I was like, okay, I'm on 86. It's
And that was
okay.
actually okay.
Yeah, and then I noticed I was on 86, so I asked for a new dry erase board because I was writing like notes,
yeah.
because a lot of the case studies would say like this medication for like a patient's taking this for this, so I would write all that down just in case if I like got
That's
that
right.
med.
Clear it up in your mind.
Yeah, and then I would write down like labs just in case if I got like one of the case studies or something that didn't have the labs, like
Yeah.
you know how they show you like the ranges. I didn't want to mess that up, so I just wrote everything down.
Amen.
Then, but when you ask for a new dry erase board, they take away your old one.
You didn't know that?
I did not know that. I thought I'd just get another dry erase
you with
board.
that other one.
So I told the lady, go back and I'm like, I don't want it. I'm like, I'm keeping my notes. So I told her, never mind. Like, I'm keeping my notes. So because how I wrote it, it was like every other grade. And my hand was pretty smudged.
Lady, don't take my shit.
Yeah, I had all my notes on there. So I told her just go back and like it's okay.
Go somewhere.
And then it was literally like 4 or 5, so I want to say it stopped at 89, 90.
Oh, you just had a few more questions.
That was it.
Yes!
Yeah. So yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Do your shit.
Yeah. I was
How do you
surprised.
feel? It's done. You've been
Yeah.
waiting for
Oh my
this
God.
forever.
It was.
Yeah.
I was like confident
surreal.
when I left because you prepped us really well. So I got a lot of, it was like maternity. It was like a mixture of everything.
Yeah.
But I was like surprised. I was like, okay, I'm content. I'm happy with the score. But then I started calling some of my friends, and then they were like, well, you make like whenever you watch those videos and they're like, it was so hard at the end.
Oh,
I
the
didn't
last
really
few
have that
questions.
feeling.
Yeah.
I actually knew what the end ones were.
Well, we kept you on.
Yeah. I was here for what, 9 months.
You were here a while,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we would not let you go until you got
Yeah.
those scores in that pharmacology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't bad.
Tell them how you did your mastery, because you did it all.
How did I do my mastery? Oh, I did like are you talking about like the client
Page
needs?
23 and all that. Yes,
Yeah,
I
so
liked how you did that.
did all the masteries. I looked over all the packets again before I took the exam. I read all those packets.
Yeah.
And then I think my masteries were pretty decent scores.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You
Yeah,
did
they
fine.
were what 70s.
But
and
you did
80s.
something that I said I was going to incorporate.
Oh, the client needs. Is that
Yeah,
what it was?
so what he did, you guys, was if you look at page 23, it just has all the subjects, right? You know, it starts with psych, it goes to renal, it goes to respiratory, it goes to acid base, and you get those big solid courses out the way up to number 10, correct? And then you go into some specialty, not as critical stuff, but you still got to know it. That's your maternity, geriatrics, pediatrics, growth and development, blah, 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 cardio. And then what he did, which I thought was really good, because if you ever failed before, which is what I specialize in high-risk students, then a lot of times what you failed before will be on your CPR report in categories. And if you look at the software for Uworld, it has the subjects first, and then if you click off of those, which you would have to literally click off to get off of that, because it's the default for the software, there's the client's needs sections, and there is where it has all of these categories, which is on your CPR report. And so he decided to go ahead and look at what he missed on his CPR report and focus on those and kick ass, take names, and just do questions in that. We have videos for each of these too, so it's kind of nice.
This one, the packet for this one helped me a lot because I actually had low on both of my.
Oh, so
And
both of your
this
tests,
one.
you got the low on
And
this one.
I guess I just sucked at like doing the delegation portion because that's the majority of what this one is, and like the laws type.
Yeah, the ethical legal stuff.
Yeah. So that packet helped me a lot.
Yeah.
Because that bumped all my, like I even, like when I did the NCLEX 4000, that's what I got all of them right on, and then the rest of the stuff was like, well, that's how I got the 57%.
Oh, that's how. Yeah, you did review it. That was good.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. So what would you tell them to do? You're a guy who did everything we tell you to do. What would you guide them? How would you guide them best? Because you were really good at that.
So I would say, obviously, do all the packets like how she has it in the paper, and I would, like how I did the client need, or the client needs, that helped me a lot. Like, even when she has you do one of your assessments on your Uworld, look at that report and look at what you need to work on, because that's usually what I would look at, and work on those portions. And if you feel confident, do another one of like another 85 questions of like the candid, and just check that out. Yeah. But the client needs helped me a lot.
Because when you brought your phone in, I could see you were doing them. I'm like, oh, this is really good.
But I
Ooh, okay.
Yeah. And her pink packets, everyone talks about them, but that I went through the procedures twice. Like, I read that twice before I took the exam, and I just read all the other packets like together, just to refresh my mind. Yeah, the pink packets.
Yeah. And where are you gonna work?
So I'll be working on a cardiothoracic floor at Cleveland Clinic.
Yes.
So I'm talking to my manager. So J63. I'll be working on the sister unit of the unit I work on right now as like a PCNA. Yeah.
I think we go on that unit to do your scopes and stuff that we need, that you guys need us to do. Because I was on J63 for a call I did, a bleeder cart call. So I hope I love when I see you guys.
Yeah, like my manager was like, do you want to stay on J61 or do you want to switch it to J60? And I'm like, because it's a new, like I don't want to be like everyone thinking I'm still at Adhd. So I wanted to move on to. You have to
switch. Smart.
So I still
have
like. If you work
on a certain floor or unit, switch it up.
Like I love cardiac and everything. So I was like, all of my coworkers were nice. So I'm like, let me just like switch it, because if they do need me to float back to my floor, I'll still know where everything is. So.
Yeah. When do you start?
So I actually I'm waiting on a call tomorrow, because So she said that, but the manager said I start like beginning of October. So I'm trying to work a couple days for PCNA.
Yes,
because I disappeared from work for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks. So
you have to though. You don't regret
My
anything.
bank account is almost zero, so I need money.
He's living on fumes.
So,
but you don't regret anything.
Yeah, no regrets at all.
Because
this class
helped
me a lot. Yeah. So it all worked out for me. Thank you so much.
I can't wait to.